Okay, so we got the best player from every age in last video, so we had to move on to the 10 best NBA starting fives from every age. And this one was fun to make. There was a lot of lineups with a lot of talent, so not every great one made the list, but there did deserve to be one honorable mention, and that goes to the players 22 years old. And I almost ranked these guys even at number 9. It was that close of a call between them, number 10, and number 9. But this is how I left things, and we got 2 stars here, 2 near stars, and 1 future star. All still very young, but still a very good squad that would work extremely well together. But comment down below if you'd rank them ahead of number 10, which is Fred VanVleet, Marcus Smart, Caris LeVert, Pascal Siakam, and Joel Embiid. And either way, the fact that we have a lineup this good at number 10 should show you just how good the rest of these starting fives are going to be for the rest of the video. And I really don't see many problems with this lineup. They got a solid playmaker in VanVleet, a lockdown defender in Marcus Smart, Caris LeVert to attack the basket, Pascal Siakam to stretch the floor and come up big on fast breaks, then Joel Embiid who can dominate down low. So not only do we have 5 good players, we have 5 guys who all complement each other, and not even to mention 2 guys with championship experience. And this lineup ranks at 10 because all of our other teams are completely full of stars. Number 9, 28. Kyrie Irving, Victor Oladipo, Harrison Barnes, Tobias Harris, and Rudy Gobert. Now, this ranking would only be assuming Victor Oladipo would return to his pre-injury all-star form. I don't love the team, but they would be a pretty good one. Kyrie Irving would lead the way as the star of this team, which might not be a good thing based on his track record at this point, but Victor Oladipo would have to guard the other team's best perimeter player. Harrison Barnes isn't exciting. Tobias Harris to stretch the floor and make plays when needed. Then Rudy Gobert is the defensive stopper that would pull this team together. For me personally, I don't love this one, but they do still rank here. Number 8, 23. Jamal Murray, Devin Booker, Brandon Ingram, John Collins, and Bam Adebayo. And this is easily one of my favorite lineups. We got 3 playmakers in the backcourt that can all score and make plays on their own, and it's a perfect complement to the front court with Collins and Bam, which are 2 guys that don't need the ball in their hands, and even now on their current teams, excel from playing with guys that go out there and make plays for them off of screens, picks, and drives. They got a little bit of everything, and seeing that everyone here besides Adebayo can shoot on this team, there's not many downsides besides the fact that they're just a little young. Number 7, 24. D'Angelo Russell, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brown, Ben Simmons, and KarlAnthony Towns. So we got 4 former All-Stars here, and we have Ben Simmons playing power forward because he'd play good either there or small forward given the right team, and this may be the one. Everyone else including Towns here can shoot and spread the floor, so it would allow Ben to be a point forward when needed, and when not, he'd be great as a rim runner. Plus, it's just how it worked out with filling all these guys into this lineup. I really like this one though. I still think Donovan Mitchell leads the way with these guys, and he should. He's the best actual leader, and himself and D'Angelo are both leaders. Jalen Brown's great in the role of playing off the ball, plus him and Ben Simmons' defense would give them what they needed on that end. Even with all that said though, maybe this is a weird team. Simmons at power forward and 2 more ball dominant guards. Don't know if it would actually work, but on paper, it's not bad. Number 6, 27. Spencer Dinwiddie, Bradley Beal, Buddy Hield, Anthony Davis, and Andre Drummond. So as you can tell, now we've just gotten into the real star lineup. So Bradley Beal scoring 30 in the backcourt, Anthony Davis averaging 27, 12, and 2 in the front court, plus great players at every other position. I mean, Anthony Davis and Andre Drummond would be dominant. No other team would be able to get rebounds, and they'd have a tough time on offense against them since Davis can switch on to basically anyone. While Spencer Dinwiddie's been really turning into a great point guard, and Buddy Hield's gonna be their spot-up shooter, getting a ton of open looks, shooting over 40% from 3. I mean, it really doesn't get much better than this. Well, I mean, actually it does because we still got 5 lineups ahead of this one, but you get the point. Number 5, 35. Chris Paul, J.R. Smith, LeBron James, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Marc Gasol. So it was basically put Chris Paul and LeBron here, find whoever the next 3 best players were at 35 years old, and put them in here, and they were gonna make the video. And the fact that they happened to be Smith, LA, and Gasol gave them a pretty good ranking. I mean, any team that both LeBron and Chris are on, we're instantly gonna make this list. James is still the best in the league, and CP3 is just a winner in general, so together, they won't get beat by many. And I mean, we saw LeBron play with Kyrie Irving, but now put him and CP3 together, and the league would have a problem. He's the floor general that LeBron would love to play with, and as a close friend, Chris Paul would be able to hold LeBron back from beating down J.R. Smith the next time he cost him a finals game. Then LaMarcus Aldridge, of course, isn't the greatest power forward anymore, but if he could still give them 15 to 20 points and nearly 10 rebounds a night, that's all they need, and he could fit in good to the Kevin Love role from those old Cavs teams. Plus, Marc Gasol playing at center would be huge. He doesn't need the ball, but he's still a great defensive stopper. Number 4, 32. Derrick Rose, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Durant, Kevin Love, and Brook Lopez. So we saw how dominant Steph Curry and Kevin Durant were. The only downside now is that they wouldn't have Iguodala, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green to help them out on defense. On this team though, I think Kevin Love slides into the role that Klay Thompson had on offense as a spot-up shooter, and the fact that you're putting him side by side with Brook Lopez means that they could stretch the floor through all 5 positions. Plus Brook's defense helps out a little bit with Love's lack of defense. And I don't really know how well Derrick Rose fits in here, but he'd be a good third option to Steph and KD. And teams could always use a point guard that can come down the floor with the ball and create plays for himself and for the stars of the team. So I think he'd fit great into a role like that. And he'd be able to because Steph and KD would be more than willing to allow it. Number 3, 25. Kendrick, Nunn, Zach LaVine, Giannis, Kristaps Porzingis, and Nikola Jokic. Bruh, the first thing I think about with this lineup right off the bat is how perfect it is for Giannis. Because you're now putting 4 guys around him that can all knock down threes. Which means they could just all stand around the 3-point line on offense while he dominates against whoever he's up against. And with any double teams, most of these guys are reliable enough to knock down the open 3. It's like the opposite of what he has now on the Bucks. Milwaukee has not done a good job of getting him guys like this to play with, and this is almost like a dream team of what you could want for a player like Giannis. And obviously Nunn is the weak point here, but there's only so much ball to go around anyways, so he'd only be relied on to create plays every once in a while, and he can do that. Plus, especially with him playing with Jokic, he's nearly a point guard in the half-court offense anyway, so it works. Number 2, 31. Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Jimmy Butler, Blake Griffin, and Serge Ibaka. Okay, we got Russ and Harden, basically the Houston Rockets, but adding in 3 top-tier guys. Jimmy Butler, the great two-way small forward that the Rockets have needed for years. Blake Griffin, a big man that can stretch the floor and shoot, a type of player the Rockets have needed for years, and Serge Ibaka, a center that can also stretch the floor, defend, and block shots like the Rockets have needed for years. So you get the point here. Basically, all of these guys are great fits playing alongside Harden and Russ. At least on paper, because Russ and Jimmy both aren't great shooters, and Russ, Jimmy, and Harden are all team leaders. So if 2 of them on the same team didn't necessarily work, imagine having to coach 3 of them. But hey, Butler's fine if he goes through the whole game without scoring, as long as they win, so maybe it would all work out. Then finally, for number 1, we have players that are 30, with a lineup of Damian Lillard, Klay Thompson, Paul George, Draymond Green, and Nikola Vucevic. And we had a huge range of ages in this video, but I guess it makes sense here that this age ranked as the best starting 5 because it's made up of players all in their primes. And there's no doubt, not even a question, that this team ranks number 1. Lillard's never played with a true star player, because CJ McCollum's a second option on any team he goes to, so he doesn't count. But here he'd be playing with the second and third options over the 73-9 Warriors. PJ13, who, with jokes aside, would even be like Andre Iguodala on that old Warriors team, just with much better offense, and tied all together with a 20-10 center. Klay would be the third option behind Dame and PG, and Draymond may even be a 5th option on this team behind Vucevic, but it'd still all be completely fine because it would be nothing new to them. And that's why this team is without a doubt the best of the video. They're great on paper, and they would be even better on the court. Comment down below your thoughts though, and what you thought about the rest of the teams ranked here. Drop a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you next video.